Let's talk for just a minute about creating a reliability improvement plan. If we're going to achieve reliability and operational excellence, we have to have buy-in and ownership from everybody from the executive level down to the shop floor. One of the fundamental principles of this is that people own what they create. So they have to be part of the creative process so that they will have a sense of control, a sense of purpose, and of course a sense of ownership. So where do we start? Well, the first thing we have to do is understand the gaps between our current performance and where we want to be. Then we put together a plan for achieving that, and then we engage the workforce in helping us do that. As a part of that, we have to measure our performance. So we have to set up some key performance indicators. This is all pretty common, pretty straightforward. So the devil lies in the details and the actual execution of the plan. One of the first things I think you need to look at is the OEE measure, the overall equipment effectiveness. This is a measure of your losses from ideal production. You measure scheduled downtime, unscheduled downtime, process rate losses, quality losses, changeover and transition losses, and no demand or market losses. These measures provide you with the opportunity for improvement. And one of the key things to do here is to focus on managing the losses, not so much the number itself. It's just a number. If you manage the losses, the OEE will be what it should be. One other point is that OEE measures your asset capital effectiveness. How well are you using those assets? How much more capital do you need? The next thing you need to do is to create an executive summary. Particularly in this executive summary, you would have, what's the value of these improvements? What do you think it's worth to you and your business to improve your OEE? What are the key steps for achieving that improvement? What's the investment required, both in terms of dollars and people? And another thing you probably should look at is what's the operations rating relative to some of those benchmarks that we reviewed earlier. And finally, you should look at your strengths and weaknesses relative to achieving and executing the improvement plan and mitigate your weaknesses and capitalize on your strengths. So how do we support implementing the reliability improvement plan? Well, what we need to do is use what I call the reliability process that supports operational excellence. And it begins with the design. That is, you have to design the equipment for reliability and for lowest life cycle cost. It includes procurement. That is, you have to buy equipment that has high reliability, high utilization using good specifications, histories, and so on. And you have to buy for total cost of ownership, not just price. In most businesses, the total cost of ownership is made up of 25% price on average and 75% follow-on costs. So it's important not to just look at price. Next thing you have to do is make sure you store the equipment reliably and so that you maintain its reliability. Next, you have to make sure that you install and start up with precision and care. A little factoid here is that you're 5 times, maybe even 10 times more likely to induce defects and failures during startup than you are during normal operation. So that's really a critical element in reliability. You have to operate the plant with great care, with precision, with operator care, loving that equipment like it's their own, starting up and shutting down properly, and so on. And then finally, you have to maintain the equipment with great care, precision, integrating your preventive, predictive, and proactive methods. And all those folks have to work together to a common purpose so that when you have conflicting needs, you balance those needs to achieve what's right for the business. A couple of points I wanted to make about creating and implementing a reliability improvement plan, and that is you have to make sure you've established common goals using a common strategy across the improvement team and across the organization. You've got to have the alignment for the organization. Another thing is you've got to be realistic about what you hope to achieve and when you hope to achieve it. Improving your reliability and achieving operational excellence typically takes somewhere between 3 and 5 years if you provide folks with an intensive effort to do that. But if you do that, the financial gain will be well worth it, along with safety, environmental performance improvement, and so on. So I encourage you to try to be a little bit patient as you execute on this plan. I've worked with Life Cycle Engineering now for nearly 15 years, and they're a really good company. So I would encourage you to consider Life Cycle Engineering for your support needs for achieving reliability and operational excellence. In particular, I want to encourage you to have a look at their Atlas online monitoring system. You can see that at www.atlas.lce.com.